I discovered something really amazing. It's the Tonnetz, and the Tonnetz makes it easier for you to create good leads. Before we dive into the Tonnetz, I want to freshen up your kind of like knowledge on music theory quickly. So the first thing we will need today is a scale. We are here in G Phrygian, and in Ableton, in the new Ableton, you can set the scale. And then you see all the green notes are the notes in your scale. So a scale, as you can see, is a selection of notes. The gray ones are not in the scale, the green ones are in the scale. And the next thing you will need to know today is scale degrees. And it's like really simple, actually. If I put in all the notes here in the green ones, then the scale degrees are just as simple as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're starting at our tonic again. And this is something which really confused me in the beginning, because as you can see here, it's super simple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is like the perfect fifth. And the perfect fifth is 7 semitones from the tonic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's something which confused me a lot in the beginning, why it's called a perfect fifth when it's 7 semitones apart. But once you know about this kind of like scales and scale degrees, then this is like an easy thing. And the same goes for the perfect fourth. It's 5 semitones above the tonic. And yeah, so that's something you will need to know for the next steps. You need to remember. And now we will take a look at the Tonnetz. So the Tonnetz is basically is a mesh where you can see where they went up in certain intervals. So for example, like from G to D is like a perfect fifth, from D to A is a perfect fifth, from A to E is a perfect fifth, and so on. So that's like all perfect fifths in that direction. And then into the other direction, we have a perfect fourth. And that also makes a lot of sense, because 5 semitones and 7 semitones give 12 semitones, which is a whole octave again. And the other directions you can see here, actually. They in that jazz-library.com article, they explain pretty well. So you have here a perfect fifth, then you have here like a minor third, and you have like a major third. So that's kind of like the directions you have, and the perfect fourth in the other direction here. I want to quickly bring those notes into the DAW. So we have B, D, and BB. And then we have E, B, C, and E. And as you can see, not all of those notes are in our scale. Only those notes we have available in our scale. There are some more notes in the mesh which are not like direct neighbors. As you can see, for example, the F is in our scale. It's not next to G. We will look at this in a moment. So that's kind of like the direct neighbors we have. And there's some really interesting thing which I found in this article, GaryGarrett.me. I will link to it in the description. And what he explains here. So this is our G. And he explains that if you go to the right, the perfect fifth, you get like a positive polarity. And if you go back in the exact opposite direction, you revert the polarity and you get the same strengths. So the strongest kind of like positive harmony is the perfect fifth, and the strongest kind of like negative polarity is the perfect fourth. And that's something like really interesting, because if you're composing melodies and you're looking for tension, but you may pick a note which does not transmit that tension, then you can just go the same amount in semitones down if it's on your scale, and then you have reversed that kind of like feeling here. So let's take a look deeper at it. So the perfect fifth is the strongest positive polarity, and the perfect fourth is the strongest negative polarity. So let's remind us, the other directions, like down here was like a minor third. So the minor third, the blue ones are kind of like mixed ones. So this has like positive and negative elements in it. And then we have the major third up here. This is kind of like the second strongest positive one. The main point you should take out of this at the moment is that every time you go into a direction and you would choose to go into the exact opposite direction in semitones, you would kind of like get the reversed kind of feeling, tension, or whatever, how you want to describe it. So let's try this like really quickly. So here in our scale, I will order it by positive, BD. So let's go here. We don't have our, these are the ones which are not available. I will put them to the side. So the positive one we have is the D. So this is like the positive one we have available in this scale. And now it comes to the negatives. The negatives are C and EB. Those two. And then we have those kind of like mixed ones, E and BB, and E we also don't have. So that's kind of like the, if we go from the G and we go to the direct neighbors, this would be like the positive, this the negative, and this the mixed one. So let's try that out really quickly. So you see, this is like the positive. And this would be the negative one. And as you can see, if you kind of like get it by walking the same distance down. So from here to D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up. And if we walk 7 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then we are at C. And the interesting thing is basically if we walk then from G to C, then this is like our new center. So if we walk then from C to G, we would get something positive, or from C to E, we would get something positive. And if we walk down here, we would get something mixed. So maybe if we go down here, then we kind of like keep that tension a bit more. So let's try this. So we go down from C to EB. And then we could basically resolve to G again. So remember, upward movement is a positive thing. And you can, of course, not only move to the direct neighbors, you can also move to the neighbors which are a bit further away. And he describes it really well in his blog, or also he has a YouTube channel where he shows it on some videos, that you see the polarities here, they kind of like just lose in strength. So for example, we could now move to AB, and then our new center becomes AB. So and to demonstrate this a bit better, I want to bring one more time all the neighbors in here. So let me do this quickly. So we are again here at G. That's kind of like the starting point, positive, negative, mixed ones. And now we will just look at the semitone differences. So we are going here to AB. So let's look how it feels until here. So this is kind of like something I would say a little bit unresolved maybe. So either we keep that tension a little bit longer. Maybe if we go like 1, 2, 3 up from here. So remember, this is our new center. So if 1, 2, 3 up from G is kind of like mixed polarity, then 3 up from AB is also mixed polarity. 1, 2, 3, but this one is not available. So we will need to look for something else. And then we could try, for example, to go here. And you can either kind of like go up, but sometimes it's easier to count downwards. So counting from like G upwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is basically the same as like 1, 2, 3 down, and you're at the same note. So if you're going plus 12 and 3 down. So 3 down, so we could try this 1, 2, 3 down, this note would be available. So that way we would have kind of like not make a very strong move, but we also didn't quite resolve it. So let's try to now maybe go back. And going back, as you remember, positive polarities were 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. Let's try this 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have that. 5, 6, 7 we can do. And also would be nice to come back to our tonic once again. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down is let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down should also be something which resolves nicely. In a melody, you basically want to find the sweet spot between harmony, but always harmony is quite boring, and tension. And with that tool, or basically those distances here, the distances is the important thing. So so every time you're seeking for harmony, you go for the distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 4 or 7 semitones. And every time you basically looking for disharmony or negative, it's not negative harmony because it's something that word is occupied with something else, but then you are basically going here plus 5 or plus 8. So at the moment I think we are quite having a too nice melody. So now we will bring in some tension again. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from there, we can hold the tension a bit. So we choose our options again. And as mentioned, you don't have always to go only to the straight neighbors. Maybe you can also move a little bit further. But we will check where we can go. So for example, let's say we want to be back here at the G and look for some nice bridge spot. 1, 2, 3. Then we would have 1, 2, 3. That's kind of like mixed thing, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Something which resolves nicely again. And then we could go to EB. Because from G to EB, as you see, it's like in the second row here where I placed the negative ones. And then we can go 1, 2, 3 higher. 1, 2, 3 doesn't work. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And we're here, but this one is a little bit too high. So either here or here. And we could also bring in some repetition. We already know that combinations here. And from there, we could bring something maybe, you can also play a little bit with expectations, because now you would expect this one. But now we wanna bring some new tension in here, and maybe let's check what we have in options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Yeah, we go like that one. I don't feel so cool. Maybe we go from here to this plus 3 option again. doesn't work. So maybe we even create another rise resolving. And that's how you can use the Tonnetz and this positive and negative polarities to find melodies. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't go like that. It's more something if you're looking for an idea or if you want to basically understand that. So how I would use that in a more like real track application is that I have that knowledge in my back, that I know, okay, like a perfect fifth the other way around is something like really not ugly, but something which creates a lot of tension. And if I'm looking for that, then I would go like that. Or maybe you don't even start the root and you start at the perfect fifth and then you go down. And then you just create the melody as you think you would. But once you, for example, come here, then you can use this again and you say like, I want to have something mixed. And then you are free flowing from there and you bring a note you like. So, and that's, for example, like a moment where it doesn't sound cool anymore, and there you can go again with the Tonnetz. But that said, that's something which really enlightened me about the gravity of the tones, and I think it's a really interesting thing. And anyways, if you dig into that page here, jazz-library.com, and also into that cool blog from garygarrett.me, you will find more interesting things you can do with that Tonnetz. You can also find chords in that Tonnetz, and so for example here, major minor chords, major minor seventh chords, diminished chords, which are really nice for Psytrance. So EGB is basically a diminished chord. A diminished chord is like if you go 3 up and 3 more up. So in that case, they show G, E, B, B. So this E, G, B, B, E, G, B, B. I want one more up. That's why. And also we would find a place which is in the scale. But there are many cool things you can check out from that thing. And there is something, because I mentioned the negative harmony, you can also kind of like translate whole tracks by kind of like mathematical operations and make, for example, like a major track sound minor. And there's something really cool I stumbled over in the net if you want to play around with this. This is like program Tonnetz from university. The only thing you need to check out, they rotated it like, I think like 90 degrees counterclockwise to all the other stuff you find on the net. Because actually it doesn't really matter. You can do this as you like. But now you need to notice that this is like if you're here in G, then the perfect fifth from G, D is here, and the perfect fifth from D, A is here. So you see it's actually the same net here, but just like shifted by 90 degrees. And this is like really interesting because you can play around live, and you can also load in a MIDI file, and then you can try this rotating thing I showed you. But that's not part of the tutorial, so check out the sites on your own, and I will link to them in the description.